Welcome to another episode, everyone. Officer Tatum, the biggest sellout on YouTube. He has black fatigue. Now, I've been waiting to start this channel to come at this individual right here in particular, Officer Tatum, who apparently has a strong dislike for black people. But there are many sellouts on YouTube. Anton Daniels, the Carter family, the Hodge twins, Myron Gaines, and all of these individuals are exploiting the black community, profiting from the black community while denigrating and disparaging the black community and black women. Now, I'm sick of it, and I'm going to start calling this shit out, and particularly this individual here. He has to go. But let's get into this. Watch this.
Don't miss it. Come get this good education.
I invested $65,000.
$90K I invested with her.
But what they say this woman in Atlanta is really selling? A nightmare, tricking other black women into getting business credit cards to fix and flip homes with her.
Let me make it clear. I am very aware that my children are mixed-race children. They are very aware that they are mixed-race children. My point was calling them black boys. That is because that is how they will be viewed.
Oh my God, they tripping out there. Oh my God, oh!
I got a lot of black fatigue in a lot of ways. Like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notifications anytime I go live or make a video. Ladies and gentlemen, get you one of these shirts, sugar, honey, iced tea. Let's get into this. I want to blast a couple people real quick. And I'm not going to say their names because they're...
So look at this dude's shirt. Got the ice shirt on with the ice hat. A real piece of filth right here. But look, let's get into this dude here, the biggest sellout on YouTube. He hates black people.
Their names are not as relevant as how stupid they are. I want to pull up, which one do I have first? I want to pull up
of course they're stupid if
clip
they're black.
508. Because I think this man encapsulates with the most clarity that I've ever seen anybody say in a short period of time at the fall of the black community. And in addition to his statement, I'm going to show you examples of how a Hall of Fame NFL player spends his time, effort, and energy DMing me being a victim. And then you got the biracial couple confusion or interracial couple confusion where you got this woman that decided to send me some crazy messages and she ended up deactivating her page, probably temporarily, because she can't handle the smoke of somebody disagreeing with the stupidity she putting out. But I just had to say this, man, because I got a lot of black fatigue in a lot of ways. Let me tell you something. I believe with all of my heart that every life...
Yeah, and we got a lot of Officer Tatum fatigue, homie. Let me get past your nonsense right here. Whatever it is you pushing, I'm not here for that.
A lot of black fatigue in a lot of ways. But listen to this man, this pastor, apostle, he say, on the topic, roll the clip.
Let's take a minute and just say this. Something happened in the late 60s whenever Monahan report came out and said the black family was in trouble. 25% of our babies were being born out of wedlock. When the report came out, it says we need national action to save the black family. When Monahan gave the report to Johnson, Johnson made a statement. The civil rights organizations pushed back and called Monahan racist and said the black family is peripheral. They said the real problem, they said what you're doing is you're blaming the victim. The real problem is racism. So from that point, an activism started, but it was a different kind of activism. We had an activism that started right after we were freed as slaves. Men drove and walked miles and miles to find their wives and their children that they had been separated from. That was activism. And then, praise God, they went to work. That was activism. They raised their own food. They raised their own pigs, cows, and fed their families. They started their own schools and educated their children. And then before long, they were building their own businesses, their own hospitals, their own schools. That was the activism that said, don't give me nothing, just get out of my way. and I'll do it. And our children were educated in segregated schools, and they were safe there because they had dedicated teachers who understood that what I put in these children is going to lift up our race, even in a racist society. That was activism, strengthening the family. But we left off the family and went to marching and fighting the government and fighting the different aspects of society. And then we forgot the family, and guess what happened? We went from 25% of our babies being fatherless to 72%, while we are electing black officials that sell us out and tell us to kill our babies and tell us we can cut off our little boys' thing. I don't need that activism. And we don't get caught up in this political rhetoric. These folk that fly, they talk about when a white cop shoot a black guy, the black guy never wrong. But the black preacher that flies over there, he gets rich behind it. But then our black boys can kill our black boys every day, and his lips are tied, don't have nothing to say about it, and they're killing more of them, and nobody's doing anything. Nobody's willing to stand up and fight and govern y'all and structure to save our children from our children. Hold you down. When I see these young men that just got married and 3 months later bought him a home, and 4 months before he got home, he was scared to get married because his money was so funny. And I said, man, if you submit to God, God is going to show you what he can do. He come back, Pastor, I ain't been broke since I got married and bought a brand new house.
The most profound thing I've heard. That's why Martin Luther King was such a problem. And I say this stuff until I'm blue in the face, and people don't understand because they don't understand real black history. I studied Africana studies in college. It was going to be my minor, but I was one class off because I wanted to do sign language and some other stuff. But I studied black history. And when I realized that, wait a minute, black people were exploding in success. Black people were starting their own businesses. We had the Black Wall Street. That when the race wars happened, it was a lot of damage to it, but they rebuilt it like 2-3 years.
You know, we're not going to just gloss over that. First of all, what the preacher was saying, if this dude has any interpretational skills, what the preacher, the apostle was saying is that we were doing just fine until other aspects of society came in. He's talking about white people. He's saying he's just reiterating the same sentiment that many black people have and possess, which is that black people were thriving when we were segregated. Many black people believe, I guess I'm one of them, that integration, at least at that time, integration derailed the black community. We were thriving and doing well on our own. Now, he says that we had Black Wall Street and all these other different things. Yes. You say pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Stop blaming the white man. Well, every time that we do that, we build our own societies. We had our own banks, shops, hospitals, you name it, grocery stores. They came in and tore it all down. So you say build yourself up, but every time we do, these people become envious, upset, jealous, and then attack. So don't say that black people don't have the wherewithal to build their own, because we do and we've done it. It's just that every time we do it, and there are multiple examples of this, they come and commit genocide. No, it was not a race war. It was an attack by white people upon black people. There was no back and forth. No white people died on Black Wall Street. They came over there and killed hundreds of black people, dropped bombs, the government did. And we are the only ones that lost our lives. So it wasn't a war. In a war, both sides died. It was an attack. It was a shutdown, a brutalization. Don't characterize it as a race war. That implies that both parties went back and forth, that we were even Steven. That's not what happened. It wasn't a race war. It was not a race riot. It was an attack by one group, the more dominant group, against another group to suppress them. Sell out.
Later. We had so much black success after slavery that I would argue that black people were headed in the direction of being the most prominent and wealthy minority group. And what happened? We abandoned God. We start playing at the church instead of being in the church. Then we start abandoning our own free will and our—
We don't want your God. We don't want your blonde-haired, blue-eyed God. We don't want him. He's not saving anything. Black people have learned that the hard way. Some of them are still foolish praying to this blue-eyed, blonde-haired God. God is not going to save you. We're going to save ourselves.
our own fortitude to do well and to work hard and to create, which led to us begging the government, please, massa, please. That's what we went to. We were done with that massa stuff. We started building our own. Then they want to go back to massa. Government, please.
You keep glossing over that when we built our own, they destroyed it. We were minding our own black business in our own neck of the woods, thriving, flourishing, taking care of ourselves, respecting one another, loving one another, fighting for one another. We had our own community. They came, guns blazing, shot black people down, murdered them, killed them in broad daylight. So it's not that we had this and just decided to go back to massa. We had this and then they came and destroyed it, and we had to start all over again. Stop glossing over that fact to fit your black fatigue narrative, to fit your right-wing MAGA Republican points. We're calling this nonsense out from this day forward.
We need handouts. We need the white man to take his wealth and give it to us. We need reparations.
Well, yeah, we built the wealth. That's our wealth. Comes from our labor. Yes, we need reparations in the same way that they gave it to Asians, in the same way that they gave it to Jews. Even though what happened with the Jews happened in Germany, not here on American soil. Yet they still give them reparations. We're the only group, in fact, that do not get reparations and have not gotten reparations from past crimes. And we're the group that has made the country the most money, built the country. And ironically, we're the only ones that have not received reparations. But there's a reason for that. Black people allow this stuff. That's why black people let it happen. We have people like this who we allow in our communities to profit off of it, exploit our communities, make money from our communities, only to turn around and disparage and denigrate the community. He's never seen a black woman that he likes in his life.
We ain't never going. It's always the white man's fault. I'm so sick of black folks acting like that. That's why black people as a whole ain't never gonna make it. Individual black people gonna be successful and they're gonna make a difference. But black people as a whole, as a group, ain't never gonna.
That's because that's the way the system is designed for individuals to make it, to then look at you and say, see, he made it, you can too. Not understanding systemic racism. That the system is designed for you to fail. Yes, you can make it. Yes, you're going to make it. Many blacks are going to make it, but you're going to have to work 20 times as hard. And many people acknowledge that as a black person in this country, you're going to have to work 20 times as hard. And if that is a fact, if that is the case, then it's racism. Why do I have to work 20 times as hard as you? Why have to be 20 times smarter than you to get the job? it puts us at a disadvantage from the very beginning.
Don't be like the Jewish people, ever. Because we want the white man, we still worried about white people. And white people ain't thinking about us.
Yeah, they
now
are.
Let's play this clip real quick because
They can't stop thinking about us. Stop lying.
I'm not gonna say the guy's name, but he's a Hall of Fame NFL player. He sent me this video right here. Let's roll the video. The one you got queued up.
Go back, AIPAC, go back. That's the AIPAC building right there. White Christian men are not going to sit around while you turn our children into a bunch of...
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI...
lovers.
Not supposed to be showing any damn commercials. I got the premium. They did this shit earlier. This damn YouTube is tripping.
I was just showing them the AIPAC building on my stream.
Guys, we'll see you in Minnesota, January 17th. Be there. If you guys are watching this and you're inspired, show up. We need your help. These people are inspired the more they see. Fight back, guys. We'll see you January 17th. Thanks.
So you see the one guy with the vest on who's a dummy and clearly a racist. Do I give a that he said the N-word? Who is this guy? A white dude that nobody knows in the middle of the street with no black people present. This man said the N-word and nobody heard him. And nobody gives a... So he sent me this clip and told me I'm a fraud if I don't talk about it and like call this random dude out. And then I said, well, hey, I'll call him out. If you call this out, let's go to clip 501. I say, clip 501. I said, if you're going to call, no, 502. I said, you worked up about a random white dude saying the N-word. But this don't work you up? Roll the clip. All right, we got another one. Let's go to the next one. I think it's 503. Play it.
Oh my God, let me get over here. Oh my God, they tripping out there. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
All right. Now, somebody explain this to me. Brother, you sent me a white dude said, but you don't, this don't bother you? And I can show 400,000 videos like this.
And I can show 400,000 videos of white people shooting up schools, shooting up churches, having sex with their daughters and their mothers. So we can all paint a narrative. You can show two videos to make a group look bad. I can show two videos. The point that the NFL player was making is that you constantly play these sort of videos about your black fatigue and show black people acting uncouth to support your narrative, your right-wing MAGA narrative. But you never call out white people when they do stuff. That's the point that he was making. So he sent you that one video and said, call this out. You're always playing these videos calling us out. Call this out. But you want to minimize it to just some random white dude out there who has no meaning. This has no meaning either then. There are groups of people that fight all of the time. Show the motorcycle clubs. They getting into it with each other, shooting each other, beating each other up. All of these gangs do this of different races. But when you want to paint a certain narrative, then you want to point the finger at black people and make us look bad around the world, then you play this stuff. But we can play videos of not just a random white person somewhere making a derogatory comment, but groups of them disparaging, denigrating, abusing, brutalizing black people. To this day in this country, we can show those videos as well. We can show videos of white people fighting one another. But you don't want to show that. That's the point. It doesn't fit your narrative. It doesn't fit the narrative of your sponsors, of your supporters, who encourage you to put this sort of propaganda out about black people. Nah, we're not going to continue to go for this. We're going to call it out.
And then I had sent him another one. Let's go to clip 504. This is outside the violence. Let's go to the manipulation and fraud. Roll the clip.
We're sold a dream.
Come to class, don't miss it. Come get this good education.
I invested $65,000.
$90K I invested with her.
But what they say this woman in Atlanta is really selling? A nightmare, tricking other black women into getting business credit cards to fix and flip homes with her.
We've given them everything that we have in our savings.
They say once you get your money, things get funny. One of the homes catching fire, money unaccounted for. What's really going on behind black girls in real estate?
I did not do anything wrong.
I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates. Now, one person reaching out to us is one thing, but when several women came forward claiming they were duped out of hundreds of thousands of dollars from someone in Atlanta, we started asking questions. What was the promise?
So she would teach.
I ain't gonna lie, I went to the TMZ and I went and watched that whole series. It's crazy, the money that girl extracted from these black people. But the white boy saying the N-word randomly in the middle of the street is so harmful.
Really? This is your argument? You pick some random black woman who allegedly scammed some people to make your point about black fatigue and black people being, uncouth, immoral? Are you serious? Have you ever heard of Bernie Madoff? These people scam people out of millions and trillions of dollars. The government scam people out of money. They start these wars over money. They bail out the banks. They commit fraud. The president himself has been convicted of 42 felonies for scamming, scheming, lying, being cutthroat. You find one random black woman that perhaps scammed some people, allegedly scammed a few people, and because she scammed black women, you use that as part of your narrative for black fatigue. They've been scamming people forever. What are you talking about? I can play a video showing a white person scamming someone. Does that mean the whole race is like that? Or that I should have fatigue for the whole race because of that? Will that justify that sort of statement and position? Absolutely not. But when it comes to black people, it's going to be justified by these times. Yeah, we're not going for this anymore. Your days are numbered, buddy.
That you think I need to point that out as if that's somehow affecting the black community more than this stuff. You got brothers killing each other every day, and you argue with me and crying about, should I show the tweet? Let's show the text message or the tweet message. I just don't want to reveal who it is. It don't got his name in there. Do it. All right, put 505 up. We tried to block his name out. Put 505 up. Should be a text message. Oh, I can't see it from the bottom. Let's go to 506. All right, here we go. This is where he said, you won't post or talk about this, you are a fraud. And I just simply tell him, like, I never heard of this dude. So you want me to give him credence and credit? You want me to give him more, popularity when not a single black person saw this fool. And then I think we went to 507. Is when I said, does this bother you? And I went to 505 and I said, does this bother you? Which one is more harmful to the black community? And he wrote some more crazy stuff to me, but I just, I'm like, how you gonna be a Hall of Fame?
No, he ain't writing any more crazy stuff. Share what he wrote. Let us see it. He checked your ass. You sending him this nonsense to make your point. No, this is not productive to the black community. Of course not. But every group has problems. And I'm not absolving these people of being out here acting foolish like this and committing violence against one another. There are a lot of problems in the black community that need resolution. But denigrating and disparaging us is not going to resolve anything. And pointing a finger at us and saying when we speak out against certain stuff that we're playing some sort of victim, it's not helping the situation. It only aggravates it. But this is your job, to stir the pot. My job is to stop you.
NFL player, and you still a victim, bruh. You accomplish things that most people would never accomplish in their life, even white people. And every day you sending me messages of white people.
Even white people. You accomplish more than even white people. And you still complain. Even the great superior white people, you accomplish more than them. Like, that's a shock to him. That's a shock that if there's no more racism, it shouldn't be a shock that a black man accomplishes more or the same as a white person. If we starting from the same playing field, why is it a shock? Because you know that the odds are stacked against us. And you're going to name a few people who made it out. You got Oprah. Who gives a damn?
Doing stuff that ain't got nothing to do with black people.
She's part of the problem.
But you won't not one time call out a single black person that's destroying the black community. The biggest threat to black people are other black people. I don't know how people don't see that. That's why people don't like Brandon Tatum. Some of y'all ignorants don't like Brandon Tatum. Is because I'm like the.
And understand this, that the biggest threat to white people are other white people. The biggest threat to Chinese people, guess who they are? Chinese people. Guess who the biggest threat to Asian people are? Other Asian people. Guess who the biggest threat to Mexicans are? Other Mexicans. That's true for every group. Some odd 93% of white people who are murdered by who? Other white people. So you always talk about black on black crime. The fact of the matter is, you're going to hunt where you live. So when you get into it with someone, oftentimes it's going to be someone in your own neighborhood where you live. At the store, at the market, at the gas station, your neighbor, or whatever. So if you live in an all-black neighborhood, chances are when you have a strife or a conflict, you're going to have that conflict with another black person. There are no other groups around to have a conflict with, a deadly conflict. They don't live over there. So when it turns into murder, of course, there's going to be another black person committing the murder because this is who the individual had the conflict with. And it's the same for white people. When white people get into it with one another, or when white people get into it and it turns deadly, they're not getting into it with a black person. For the most part, black people don't live in their neighborhood. They get into it with their neighbor, their friend, someone at the grocery store. It's going to be their own people because this is who is in their neighborhood. This is why 93% of white people who are murdered by another white person or something like that. It's a high number. I believe it's 93%. And the same, of course, for black people. 86, 87% of black people who are unalived by other black people. Some of it, of course, is self-hatred and not having knowledge of self and self-love. But there are many factors that contribute to that statistic. Many. But the main thing, the primary thing to consider and to bear in mind is that every group has a high murder rate against its own. Every group. But you just don't hear them talking about that. You only hear them talking about black on black, black people, black crime, black people hurting other black people, because that's all that they highlight in the media. And so that's all that you see because the media apparatus pushes a right-wing agenda. However, when you dig deep, again, you find out that every group is the same. Black people are not out here killing white people. Of course, you have incidents of this. Generally speaking, for the most part, it does not happen. So when they die, it's at the hands of another white.
Whistleblower in the black community. Because I'm keeping it real. I grew up in a black, I know how black people act and think for the most part. And none of y'all can deny what I'm saying. I grew up in black culture. My whole family black. And white people are our biggest problem. Man, we didn't even see white people when I was growing up. In the neighborhood we lived in.
Your family is
ain't
not
no white people live in Stop 6.
You're not married to a black
unless you're a or a police officer. Man, ain't nobody growing up worried about no white man.
Your family.
It was
not
really
black.
other black people.
Your family's not black.
Who gonna rob you? Ain't no bill. I ain't never in my life saw a white man rob black people in the black community. You ain't never in your life gonna see a white man come into a black community and rob black people. It ain't never gonna happen. You ain't never gonna see it. That ain't who you worried about. You worried about LaDavion them. LaTracion coming in, kicking your door in, robbing you. Or because you got the new J's on, you go down the wrong street, they rob you for your shoes. Are you worried about getting shot in the head because somebody doing a drive-by shooting? I remember when I was staying with my grandma, we live in Stop 6. We call it Eastwood. I got tattooed on my forearm when I was being a little knucklehead. We see gunshots all the time. Man, you're not walking down the street at night. You're not going to the Zoom In at night. I never go to Zoom In at night. Why? Because people like me will rob you or something or think you gangbanging.
The worst state to live in right now is Nevada, and nobody's talking about it. I've spent 30 years in the insurance industry. What I'm about to tell you will explain why Nevada pays more for car insurance than any.
All right.
Gonna make me
Let's go
watch
to
ads. I paid for the fucking
the breakdown of the black family. Here
Pay
you
for
go.
the fucking premium.
Now this woman, and I'm not gonna say her name, she deactivated her page, so you can't find her for a little bit. This woman, I don't understand why black people do this stuff. Listen to what she say to this white dude who's a complete simp. Look at how she's holding him hostage to black theology and white guilt. Roll the clip.
And what do you think about the understanding of what it means to be black and the reality of being black in America, especially? Though they're going to understand all of the parts of them that make them absolutely beautiful, we both know that the world does not understand that.
The world does not understand.
Yeah. So how do you
Hold on.
think?
She mean white people don't understand this. She's not talking about the world. She's not talking about how it's more likely that your black kids will get killed by black folks. She talking about the white man. Roll it.
We should combat that, or how do you plan to combat that as their white father?
Yeah. Well, I do want to bring up the fact that a previous video that we made, and you had said, "Oh, your 4 sons," and I said, "My 4 black sons." And there was some pushback in the comments on that of like, "Oh, they're mixed. Don't sort of deny their whiteness or make sure that they are understanding." And let me make it clear, I am very aware that my children are mixed race children. They are very aware that they are mixed race children. My point was calling them black boys. That is because that is how they will be viewed in society. Thinking back to the days of slavery.
The 1-drop rule.
Yeah, I mean, if, literally the white slave masters were impregnating their female slaves, and then the progeny were considered black children and were slaves. These slave owners were making their own slaves by their slaves. I mean, that's crazy.
Homeboy, man, look, let's put it on the screen. Can I keep it real with y'all? He out of his league. That woman probably throwing it back, and he whipped.
Howie Mandel here. You wake up tired, you crash by noon, then can't sleep at night. Sound familiar? I think we can all relate. Shinergy Day gives you clean, lasting energy. No crash, no jitters, no nonsense.
Channel, bro. This ain't
it's
even
perfect for
ad,
those long
right?
work days, intense workouts, or
This
just trying to
some
keep
shit
up
he
with
just
the
showing
kids.
himself.
Shinergy Night helps you shut it
This
all
is
down.
his product. Or
No
something. He pushing
melatonin
his
fog,
product.
just
This ain't no
real,
ad.
restful sleep.
I don't have
If your mind
ads.
won't
I
stop
can't even
and
skip
your body
this
can't keep
bullshit.
up, Shinergy is here to help. Use code Howie20 at shinergylife.com.
He whipped. And so he gonna say whatever she want him to say so he can stay in her good graces. I'm telling you. Why would you, this is the thing that killed me about these people. He didn't go back 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. He went all the way back to slavery. And they doing the same thing that the white supremacists did by identifying their children as black. Because if you have 1 drop of black in you, you can't be white. You can't identify with whiteness. That's white supremacy. And they are living up to that stereotype. And she got the dude on here.
No, they're living up to reality. They're living up to the truth. White people can't produce black babies, but black people can produce white babies. It's the melanin, bro. You just have to accept the facts. Stop trying to deny it like others in this country. Stop trying to hide the history. This is shameful. This is disgusting rhetoric right here, and a disgusting video, really. But not surprising, but we're going to call it out. We're going to attack this individual here. We're not looking to attack him, but just to expose the truth, because he has a huge following that believes a lot of this nonsense that he puts out. He influences them. And it can't just stand. His side of the story can't be the only one that they hear about, especially since it's fallacious. And he's only saying this because he has a white wife, so he's upset about this black woman telling her husband whatever it is that she's saying here. He doesn't agree with it. And he was upset when she said, the world is going to look at, the world. Yeah, the world, bro. The world. The world, man. What part don't you get? They don't like you. The world doesn't like you. But these people will never get it. We got to get them out of our community, man. All of these people that think like this, they got to fucking go.
Here, y'all can't watch, y'all not going to be able to see her content because she blocked it. Let me throw this out here real quick. Let me tell you what the dilemma is. Because she made another video that's worse than this one. And I posted it on my Instagram, and she blocked me or shut a account down. This is what happens. Pull up on the screen. This woman, one of their kids is black, which means she had a kid with another black man. You can see the difference. He's a black kid. And then she got a couple mixed ones with him. What happened was this black woman was with a black man, and the black man don't want her. And she want to be a hippie. If you look at her profile, she naked with a stomach, all the whole granola hippie. I'm out in the country. I make videos while I'm breastfeeding. She want to live that life. But a lot of black men don't like hippie women like that. So she get with a white man that let her be her real self. But she don't want to let go of that black stuff. So she now got to make him subject to her feeling like she let her community down because she want to be her true self, which is not like most black people. And what does she do? The white man got to bow down to the sister. Because not one video, and I look.
Is this guy serious? Lord forbid a white man bow down to a black woman. A white man got to bow down to this dude is bananas. Wow. First of all, how do you know any of this nonsense that just came out of your mouth that you're spewing? How do you know that she was with a black man that just doesn't want her anymore, or that didn't want her because she's a hippie? How do you know this based on her pictures? And so she went and got with the white man because the black man didn't want her anymore because she's hippie-ish. And now she's trying to control him because she really can't let go of her blackness, whatever that is, whatever that means. She can't let go of being black, even though she's with the white man. What are you talking about, bro? No. She don't give a damn about being black, just like you don't. She laid down, he went up in her and produced babies. She ain't on no black shit. Knock it off. You not either. Kill it.
Look at her page. Not one video is she explaining how she's gonna raise biracial children in this world. As a black mama, it's the white man that have to tell what he gonna do about racism. And in the other video where he was a hostage, pretty much she had him looking like a hostage, he's going on and on and on about racism and whites and his white privilege. And it's like, how do you raise kids to be successful when that's what you're spewing? The world looks at your kids as black. No ignorant, broke people look at your kids as black. The world that I live in don't care about the color of your skin. People.
Well, what motherfucking world is that? What world do you live in, Brandon Officer Tatum? What world do you live in where they don't care about your skin color? The world I live in, what world is this? I've never seen it or heard of it. This dude living with the fucking Martians. This dude even went to the moon. This dude somewhere, he in another world. The world that he lived, what world is it? Tell me what world is it? I want to get there. It must be utopia. I want to get to that world. God, white Jesus, let me into this utopia. Let me into this world that this man experiences every day. What I gotta do? Sell out? Do I gotta sell out to get to that world? I gotta talk bad about black people, you no good, dirty dogs? Is that all I gotta do to get to this world that he's talking about? Shit.
Are surrounding themselves with ignorant, stupid, broke folk that worry about stupid stuff that don't matter. That's not, my kids aren't, listen, my kid, I take him to the little CrossFit class for kids. Ain't nobody worried about my kid being black or biracial. All the kids in there just playing. All the parents support all the kids. There's white kids, black kids, they got girls and boys working together. We cheer, we clap, we celebrate all the kids in there. Not one time am I looking, that's a white kid. That's a black kid. Nobody cares, these just kids. My son goes to a prominent school. And it's a private school. Nobody cared that he biracial. His coach don't care. Does he? White kid.
Well, again, he's living in the world that I don't know about. Because there are instances after incident where there's ample proof that they care, that your color cares. In school, driving down the street, walking down the street, sleeping, eating, whatever, just existing. People see your color in this damn world and in this country. So good for you. You put your kids in some prominent school where you believe that they don't see their color. Yeah, keep on fooling yourself. Let a robbery or something happen up in there. And see who they try to put it on. Lil Jimmy or your black ass kid, boy.
There's black kids on the team. If you could play, you could play. Coach ain't thinking twice about your color. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to be done with.
Because we the ones that can play. And first of all, you talking about kids. We talking about the adult world. We talking about the racism that affects our everyday lives. Yes, black people affect our everyday lives. Yes, we are our own biggest enemy. And we're looking to change that now. And once we do, the world needs to look out. You better be happy black people are like this right now, fighting with one another and can't get it together, have no structure and organization. Because once we do get it together, the world is going to pay for their crimes against my people. Stupid.
The topic. What has happened, and I've learned this because I lived around black people my whole life until I was 18, and then I moved to college, and I started realizing that I've been raised in a bubble, and the stuff that we've been taught and we believe is small-minded stupidity. I realized, you give me the big screen, I realized that white people aren't thinking about and worried about black people like black people think they are. When I was growing up, we think that every minute on the minute, when a white person see a black person, they have some response about it. And now that I live around nothing but white people, I ain't never had a problem whatsoever with these white people. I ain't never had nothing weird happen, nothing. Neighbors.
But you better believe, maybe not to your face, but you done been every name in the book behind their back. White people come out and say how they're raised in their house and how their parents really think and the stuff that their friends say when no one is around. So because you live in a white neighborhood and you think you've been accepted because you're a right-wing MAGA racist wannabe, you'll never be accepted. You're going to get your Negro wake-up call. You've been getting it. With the Charlie Kirk situation, Turning Point USA, they didn't want to let you in. But these people never learn.
Waving at you and everything. But when I was in a black neighborhood, white people driving through a black neighborhood is suspicious. You know what the white dude doing around here? I feel like white people ain't at least they ain't verbalizing it.
See, is this dude for real? What? So, let me get this right. A white dude driving through a black neighborhood, black people are saying, what is he doing over here? It's suspicious. But, I'm assuming his point is that a black person can just drive through a white neighborhood and nobody cares. Nobody thinks that it's suspicious. What world is this dude living in? I need to get there. Where is this at? Give me the address, man.
I go to the store. I ain't never had nobody treat me any different than any of these stores. Why? Because I'm a decent human being. I'm not walking around, hey, what's up, shawty? Hey, man, hey, shoot, my pants sagging. Nah, I'll rob this place, man. Know what I'm saying? It's smelling like weed. I'm a regular human like everybody else, so nobody gonna treat me any different. But if you riding around like that, then people gonna think you are who you present yourself as.
No, man, that's not always the case. You know, it's not always that you carry yourself a certain way, and that's why you end up with these problems, these racial problems. As we know, there are black men walking down the street in a suit and a tie and still get pulled over. They don't smoke weed. They're not smelling like weed. They're not throwing up gang signs. They've never gang banged a day in their life. We have governors and doctors and lawyers and judges. We see videos of judges being pulled over, and the police only know that she was a judge. And pulling her over for racist reasons and being racial towards her during the pullover until he finds out that she's a judge. So it's not just the black people who are walking around acting a certain way, and that's why they're bringing this upon themselves. We're talking about black people who are buttoned up, square, strong, intelligent, smart, have never gotten in any trouble all of their lives, have never been in the gang, have never been in a gang neighborhood, married, take care of their kids, pay their taxes, dress appropriately, and they'll still be accosted by the police, still be shot by the police, still be pulled over by the police. So don't blame it on the way that black people carry themselves. In some instances, of course, that is the case, but not in all. Generally speaking, all you have to do is be black. Doesn't matter what kind of black you are. Doesn't matter how you dress as a black, what you smoke or don't smoke as a black, how much money you have or don't have as a black. Just be black. And that's enough. You're going to learn that the hard way, man. They don't love you. Man, power to the people, man. We getting rid of these kind of people, man. We calling them out. Stay safe, stay free, and power to the people. And only to the people.